Yeah.
And I'm kind of old fashioned. I learned from this. And the boss
Yeah.
always liked his. When you go to easing off that clutch, he wanted it to start rolling.
That's right.
And I kind of likes that little ease off.
That's right.
And stuff like
Especially
that.
if you're on a hill.
Yeah, stuff like that is so important when you're learning to drive. And I can see their point. If you haven't learned to do that, then you can't transfer back and forth.
Yeah.
But if I was anybody and I was going to school, I would not just get qualified on all that.
No,
I would just get both.
Yeah.
And I don't know the procedure. I'm not gonna say, you know, me and you would keep it straight on this show, but I'm pretty sure it's just as easy to get both as it is to get one.
I would think it would be too. And in fact, if you're serious about being a truck driver for a great company like Sanders, you know, you want to have both.
You want to have both. And I tell you
don't
what,
want
I
to
want
be anything that can deter you from driving that truck. You know.
And I tell you something I want to do. I want to invite anybody that's out there that's listening to us this morning that's interested in driving a truck. If you wanted to come out and look and see what we offer out there, see our wash rack, see our dispatch, see our tire shop, see what we do this at, see what we make trucks, you know, where we do it. Just come, give me a call. We'll go out there and look and let you show.
Not just anybody can get through those gates. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, that's right. That's why I said give me a call.
Let me tell you this, and you know what? That makes me respect the business that much more. I mean, hey, this is serious business. This is a business that can be a great career, and you know, and you want to know the ins and outs of the business.
Well, you know, people are making money out there, and I got to talk about it because I'm excited about it. You know, we're in our third quarter.
Yeah.
And I looked at that 401k. But that matching that 4%, it ain't gonna be long.
Oh yeah, exactly. And we're talking about
free money. We're talking about free money.
We're talking about they're going to take 4% of your salary. Is that right? And then and put it in a 401k.
Correct.
All right. And then at the same time, what Sanders is going to do, they're going to take that same 4%. Of cash money and match that cash money with yours. So really, what you've got 8% money. Really,
and if you look at that, that's dollar for dollar.
Yeah,
that's at gross.
And that's the minimum.
And I know people know what gross.
Yeah,
that's the minimum. 4% is the minimum. But you think if you can put in 5%.
Yeah. What I'm saying, the minimum match, you could actually put in 20% if you wanted to.
If you wanted to.
But as far as what they're going to match you, they're going to match you 4% every month.
Every month. Every week.
Every week.
Every
payday.
And that's another great thing. And I don't know whether you have been in this position. I've never been in it, but I've heard people talk about it because I've been at the same job all my life. But I've heard people actually talk about their check didn't cash, or they couldn't get paid.
Yeah.
Every Friday we get paid.
Yeah.
Every Friday. If you run the miles, you got the check.
And a lot of times now, do you always go and pick up your check, or will you mail the check, or how does that work?
It's so easy to get paid nowadays. It's just you got your satellite computer sitting right there.
Yeah.
You can get your check over here, go in the truck stop and get a com check. You can have it directly deposited into your account. Just whatever you want to do. It's just real easy.
Hoss Daddy Jeffrey Bennett is our guest, as he is every Monday on this show, and of course we appreciate Sanders Trucking and of course the Sanders Company for allowing him to come in and talk business every Monday. And of course, I know this. Anybody that's around Jeffrey and that knows Jeffrey knows that he is a very conscientious person. One thing, he's been with the company how many years?
Over 30 years.
So
I've had one job.
It's one job in his life, and of course was a legendary athlete. Tell us about growing up playing ball.
Well, I grew up and was taught to work hard. And
Where were you raised? Over in Crenshaw County?
Crenshaw County, and we ended up in Florida. And you know, once you're Alabama native, you just always Alabama. And I come back, and God blessed me to get hired on with Wiley Sanders, and I've been here since. 4 kids, raised there, went to college, all out of that salary. So
Isn't that wonderful? All 4 of them went to college?
Yeah.
Isn't that great?
And you know, I look at this, and we was talking about this yesterday in church. God is so good to us.
Oh yeah.
God was good to Troy, Alabama to bring Wiley Sanders to this town.
Oh, yeah.
That industry, what it does for our community, we're just blessed, man.
I was a little boy playing football on Orange Street in Troy, Alabama. Again, played in Cam Green's front yard and then on down the street in Sonny Williford's front yard. And in between there was a guy named Wiley Sanders. And of course, Wiley didn't go out and play ball with us that much because he was older, quite a bit older. But we knew who Wiley was. And a lot of times he would park that 18-wheeler right in front of his house. I've seen him do that before. Not with the trailer, but just with the what do you call it? The
bobtail.
Yeah, that's right. And of course, I've known Wiley Sanders all my life, and I knew what an unbelievable work ethic he had. He worked and was successful, and he had his ups and his downs. And now I doubt if there's very few business people in this state or in this part of the country that has been as successful in what he brought to Troy, Alabama than Wiley Sanders.
Well, you think about it, Mike. This morning alone, I called this before I got here, and they're not through yet. But from 6 o'clock to 7:30 now, we had 550 trucks that bumped the dock.
Oh man, this morning.
This morning.
Oh boy.
That's a lot of freight move.
Yeah.
The truck drivers know what I'm talking about.
All right,
now.
Do they bring most of their trucks in, or do they park them somewhere else? Over the weekend.
It all depends. If you live in Troy, you bring it to the yard. But if you live in Montgomery, you come to the yard and did what you need done. Take your truck home with you. That truck, and it's called slip seat.
Yeah.
I know what you're getting to. That truck is assigned to you.
Yeah.
If you're 7728, Mike, you drive 7728.
Yeah.
We have enough trucks that if you're gonna be off 2 days, we don't have to pull that truck from you and let somebody else have it. That's your truck. You rest, let the truck rest for 2 days.
All right.
That way you put all your stuff in it.
It is mind-boggling almost, ladies and gentlemen, to see how many trailers, that are on the road trailers that are parked at one time during the week at Sanders truck lines. Do these trailers? Does the driver use the same trailer every time, or does he hook onto another trailer?
And drivers would be excited about this. We have a lot of places we go. We call it drop and hook.
Yeah.
When you don't actually have to go in there and give your bills, you just go in there and you have a number. You roll in, you drop that trailer, hook to the other trailer.
And he's really not even concerned about what he's hauling. Is that right? And a lot of times he probably don't even know what he's hauling.
Well, he knows what he's hauling because he's got to secure it, make sure it's safe. But the thing about it is, he knows he's going to get paid. Anytime you drop and hook, that's a good day. Because even though we don't want you to sit, I'm not going to sit here and tell you, and truck drivers know this. You go in some of these places and they got about 20 trucks there, and you may be number 10. Well, you're going to have to sit a little while. But with that drop and hook, you ain't going to do nothing but keep on going.
Now, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, I ask questions I don't know any more than you do in a lot of ways about what goes on at Sanders Truck Lines. But out of those 550 trucks that head out, that leave Sanders, a lot of the time, probably 80 to 90% of the time, they're carrying their own freight. Is that right?
Freight, that's right. We had a plastic plant, we got the lead plant, we got KW Kenyon, so it's very. I would say, I'll be scared to say I'm gonna find it out for you, but a lot of it, yes. Then we got Henderson Black and Green. We got freight.
Yeah, it's a lot of people that watch this show, and of course with Hoss Daddy, and ladies and gentlemen, that's the name he goes by. That's an alias, of course. His name is Jeffrey Bennett, and of course very well known in this area. But y'all are starting to do a lot of flatbed work. Is that right?
We always have. We always have done a lot of flatbed. Now the flatbed is real simple. It's all straight in and straight back. All of it is. It's customers that we've been doing business with for years, and you just go out and come right back in. Now the greatest thing, and like if you was to ask me, so you're gonna go back to driving, what would you do? I'd get in our tank of the business. We haul our own plastic out. I don't know if me and you ever talked about this.
Yeah, I know it.
We haul our own plastic out. You go to the place, you blow it off. If you got your 8-hour break behind you, your 10-hour break, back to the truck. Just in and out, in and out.
Well,
they don't put no other product in that trailer, so you ain't got to go hunt no load. And there's a lot of young guys are doing that. Because let's just face it, young people, they kind of like to be home more than the older guys.
Well, at your time, you have almost everything, hadn't you?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you know, y'all do it very professionally, and you know, but the flatbed, or whether it's a flatbed or a regular trailer, you know, the pay is generally the same.
Pay is the same. Only thing with that, when you come into the flatbeds, you run into, well, they give you a little extra for taking the top off. It's just like multiple load trailer. Say if you, I think it's after your second stop.
Good morning. You're on Today in L.A. How you doing?
Hey, morning.
Mike Amos calling in from, where are you from this morning, sir?
I'm from Great Beach, Florida.
That's a nice place to be. Did y'all get rained on?
It rained a little bit. Well, actually a lot that night, Saturday night, but the rain was actually gone by around 9:30, and the sun came out yesterday, and it was beautiful. It was just extremely windy and cold.
Yeah, boy, it's cold out there
It's
this morning.
cold out here.
Let me tell you this, you kids, you folks sending kids to school better have a jacket or a heavy sweater
This morning.
No question. Mike Hofstadter's with us this morning. Jeffrey Bennett, representing Sanders Truck Line.
Good morning, Mike.
And,
Yeah, we had a big time down here yesterday, and went to AJ's and heard a bluegrass band from 3-7, then Drake Clampett last night at the Red Bar. We had a good night.
you ate at the Red Bar last night.
Yeah, had dinner and got to hear great music, so it was a lot of fun. We got a babysitter last night, which is always fun.
Oh,
We got
man.
two little babies.
I was wondering how you did that down there. You're right. But that's right. That was mom-in-law. Is that right?
No, we had we just actually knew a other girl that
bring me
babysitted
some
down
coffee.
here, and we just called her up, and it worked out great. So
Yeah.
we had some friends that were down, and we hung out with them.
Yeah. Mike, temperature right now in the big city of Troy, Alabama is 38 degrees.
38 degrees.
Yeah.
And it's a cold 38 too. It's a cold 38. You know,
I knew it was
30
cold, but I didn't know it was 38.
Yeah. All right. Does that mean anything by the bad weather coming in? Did y'all bring a lot of trucks in, or what? How that?
It's not bad enough. You know, we don't bring trucks in for weather. We stop them.
Yeah.
You know, we have a guy that just sits there and he monitors the weather. That's another thing where that satellite comes in. That if we see where there's a snowstorm, they send it out to the driver.
Yeah.
We don't force you. Matter of fact, we encourage you to stop when it's snow and ice and it's slick out there and it's bad out there. It's safer to just sit.
Of course, you've got big truck stops. You got one in Ozark. I know you've got one or more than one probably in Dothan. There's one in a big one. You know, a couple of big ones in Montgomery. So, do y'all have any kind of relationship with truck stops in Birmingham, Memphis?
Yeah, all major truck stops we have are like fuel accounts with them.
Yeah.
Petros, TAs, Loves,
Yeah.
all those places like that. And the reason being, they're set up and they're equipped.
Yeah.
They got nice, clean showers. They got all the comforts that you need when you're away from home.
Yeah. Well, you're getting famous on Troy Cable and through on all the other networks. You know, you see Hofstadter come out with a 10 $100 bills in his pocket, and he's showing you those $100 bills, and he's asking you, do you want $100,000
Sign-on bonus.
sign-on bonus, which is really good. But you know, you show that $1,000, and you'll say, "Gosh, that guy's gonna give away 10 $100 bills." You know, all if I go to work with you. Well, a little bit more to it than that. I mean, you got to be qualified.
Well, you got to be qualified. You got to have a CDL. You got to have a good driving record. And once again, I always say, young people, I guess when we get old, we always look at everybody else as being young. But I tell people, and I got those sports cars, and I do it too, but when you go to flying up down the road on those sports cars, and then you decide you want to drive a truck, and we run that MVR, and you got 2 speeding tickets, and ladies and gentlemen, trust me when I say this, if you got a CDL, the last thing you want to get is a ticket 15 miles over.
Yeah.
Whether you drive for me or not, I just want to tell you that particular CDL, that's a bad ticket, man.
Let me ask you.
That's
Dan.
almost like a DUI with
Yeah,
CDL.
exactly. Let me ask you this. Have you ever had a driver to to be ticketed if he's 3 to 5 miles over the speed limit?
No.
Have you ever had what I call a trigger happy highway patrol?
No, I mean, I imagine this happens.
I shouldn't use that. That's not very good. That's not very good. I apologize. Somebody that's ticket happy.
Yeah, but we got good equipment. We got cruise control on them, and our trucks are set to do a good job.
Exactly.
Not to go flying up the road, but they're set to do a good job. Let me say that. A good job.
Sometimes you're able to control the speedometer. Is that right?
That is correct. That's called govern. That's why I was telling you that our trucks are set to do a good job.
Set to do a good job.
Set to do a good job.
And of course, when you get up north, driving starts getting more hazardous because of the bad weather. You running this Sanders truck driving in bad weather all the time.
When you get past Montgomery, it gets a little.
Like last week and the week before, it's been pretty weather down here, but up there been some stormy weather, and you've got trucks up there.
We do. Mike, what did he say? What you say you was at, Mike?
He's in Great Beach.
I'm down in Florida in Great Beach.
Oh, I bet it's pretty down there. You seen a lot of our trucks down there?
I mean, I see your trucks everywhere. I drive about 600 miles a week for my job. So I'm up and down the state of Alabama, so I'm always in your trucks every day.
Well, see, he knows Sanders trucking pretty well because John Reeves is one of his very best friends.
Oh, okay.
You know John, don't you?
Yeah, John works with us.
He's an attorney now, and a very successful one. And you learned a lot about the trucking business from him, didn't you, Mike?
Yeah, John used to be the night dispatcher. So a lot of times when I'd be on the road late at night, I would say, I just went by so-and-so number truck, and he could tell me who was driving.
He could tell you where it was going,
exactly,
too, right?
Exactly,
yeah. He could tell me all that, yeah. It was actually pretty funny.
No question about it.
The Braves were playing last night, or yesterday in Chicago, Dad, and they got snowed out.
Did they really? In Chicago. Did y'all have anybody up there, you reckon?
I know we did.
Yeah.
But if we talk about the Braves and we talk about Wilder Sanders, it makes me think about my boss. He loves the Braves. That baseball.
You talk about Mr. Sanders?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he was a huge, Wiley's a big baseball fan, but his dad was a huge
you talking about his dad.
Mr. Talbot, Mr. Coward Sanders was a huge baseball fan. For a long time, you used to see him at all the Troy games, and he was actually a member of the Mafia, wasn't he, Mike?
Yeah,
they used to have that Trojan Mafia where they sit down the first line. Harry Baker,
Oswald, and all those guys.
Yeah, there would be about 20 to 30 guys who go to every Troy baseball game, and they wore sunglasses. And Chase was real legendary coach, was coaching third base one day, and he was looking toward the sun, and all he could see was a glare, and those guys, those old men sitting up there with those black sunglasses, and he says they look like the Mafia, and they started calling them the Trojan Mafia.
The Trojan Mafia.
And Mr. Cowart was one of them, and they came to every ball game.
I tell you what, Dad, that was heartbreaking. They didn't take 2 or 3. That might not get them in the NCAA tournament. That was a really, really tough.
It really was.
A doubleheader.
Before I get away from that, Driscoll's father-in-law was a big supporter of baseball too.
Okay.
And quite a few people over the years were great supporters of Troy baseball. You're talking about Coastal Carolina was here this weekend, one of the best baseball teams in the country, and Troy beat them on a local kid got up. With the bases loaded, Joey Dennison knocked in 2 runs to win the game.
All right.
Kid from Troy.
From Troy?
That's right.
Who was it?
He knocked in 2 runs on Saturday as well.
Yeah, and he was going to be the hero on Saturday, but they came back and tied Troy, and then beat Troy in the last inning 3-2. So our Troy would have swept that series from them. But
no, Troy ended up losing the series.
Yeah, no, losing the series. Two games.
That's going to be really tough on down the road if we don't make the NCAA tournament. They'll look at that. If you would have took 2 or 3 from a ranked team, that would have been pretty big.
Yeah, you're right, no question. And we'll be watching all that closely. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our show. And of course, Jeffrey Bennett, representing Sanders Truck Lines, is on our show, as he is every Monday, and we appreciate him very much. And of course, what the Sanders Company does, like you said, y'all have so much freight of your own, you're going to keep somebody busy. Is that right?
That is correct. And you know Robin Sullivan.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, well, big, yeah.
Me and Robin was talking the other day, and he's gonna come on the show with me.
I'd love for him to.
Probably next Monday we're gonna come, and he's more familiar with the freight part of it. And
that's
just tell people what we got and what we're doing, and why we want you to come work for us. Because we know we offer a place to work and good.
You know, I'm talking about freight now. They don't have to do any of that loading. The people that you're hauling the freight for load the truck. Is that right?
And we got a guy that's actually, Mike, his only job is to get trucks unloaded.
Yeah.
But it takes a man to do that. In other words, I'm gonna just use
hires it out, or what did they?
Yeah, I'm gonna use Miami for example. If I'm coming into Miami to get unloaded, he's gonna send me a message on my satellite, who to see and everything. It's gonna be all set up. All I got to do is get there, back up to the dock.
Let's say John Jones is out there right now and is watching our show, and of course has heard and knows, the reputation that Sanders Trucking has and the Sanders Company has, and of course probably knows a lot of people that work for him. But he's watching today. What's the first thing he should do?
Call us.
All right, call you at what number?
1-800-392-1530. Ask for safety. Or he can personally call me, 334-372-5049.
5049.
Now let's just talk. Call me and let's just talk about
Exactly.
it. You know, and I'm glad you mentioned that, Mike. You always mention good things. There's nothing wrong with just checking out the fish in the other pond. The fish
exactly, yeah.
You know, a man will be fishing and he'll walk that bank until he catches something. He'll just keep going up and down that bank.
All right, now let me tell you, there's probably a lot of these guys have never driven any, even a standard shift vehicle in their life. A lot of them hadn't, but they want a job in the with Sanders Truck Lines because they want a career. They've got a family. They want to establish themselves, and once they do go off to school and learn the trade, that trade being how to drive one of those big trucks, then when they come to work with you, or once they start working with you, you're going to train them again, aren't you?
You have to go through after you come out of the school, you have to go through another 6-week process where you ride with a driver.
Exactly.
But we have guys that's what they do. In other words, we don't just put you with somebody. We got guys, we call them driver trainees.
Yeah.
And when they put one trainee out of the truck, they just take on another. What this does, Mike, this guy's used to a new driver. His patience are good. And we pay him extra for this. So he's going to take time to nurture this guy and get him where he needs to be. If that trainer, even after the 6 weeks is up, we believe in safety. If that trainer say, well, Jeffrey's, he's just not ready. Well, we don't tell him. But we say, okay then, let us know when he's ready. Because we want you safe out there. Your son is out on the road, my family is out on the road.
And not every one of them is going to make it. I mean, that's the truth in every trade. There's going to be some people that are going to excel. There's going to be people that's going to be very good. Then there's going to be some people that really just can't cut the mustard.
Yeah. Well, I was listening on the news this morning. Mike, I know you've heard about it. Reuben Foster.
Yeah, I read about that.
What are you thinking? What are you thinking here?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think?
Has it made
life opportunity? Yeah. And when I see people blow life opportunities, I'm like, oh my God.
Exactly.
That's why I say, come drive with us and be happy.
The great Reuben Foster, a great linebacker, played at Alabama. Mike had his whole career ahead of him, and now he faces a
11 years.
Yeah, prison term. Yeah. What do you think?
Well, I mean, it's just a situation where it happened when he went to the draft. He got kicked out of the draft and got sent home from there, and then got arrested in Tuscaloosa for drug possession, and then now this out in California, which is when you're facing 3 felony charges. I mean, you're in a lot of trouble, and he's probably done with his NFL career, I would say.
And I promise you, it's not good for the Alabama program.
The thing is Roger Goodell's not going to put up with that either. You know, he's going to suspend him.
Yeah.
And then, you know, if the 49ers release him, I don't see any other teams wanting to pick him up.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a great talent, but, you know, you're going to have to pay for what you know, if it's proven, you know, what we're hearing, and they find him guilty, he's probably done for good.
Oh, boy, that's a shame. Really a shame.
Really bad.
We're going to take a short break, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, we're talking about Sanders Truck Lines on our show today, and my good friend Jeffrey Bennett is with us. We'll be right back.
The new Smokehouse Pizza from Little Caesars is our first pizza with 3 smoked meats. So we got barbecue champion Big Mo Quezon to test it out. 8-hour smoked brisket.
Certified beefified.
10-hour smoked pulled pork.
Certified hoggified.
Applewood smoked bacon.
Certified baconfied.
Drizzled with tangy barbecue sauce plus a Smokehouse seasoned crust.
Certified smokified.
The new Smokehouse Pizza. Only $9 and only at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Here at Town & Country, we are proud to be an American.
We've had you covered on the inside since 2005, and with our addition of Southern Grill and Patio, we now have you covered on the outside. Come see our great selection, where we make sure grilling and relaxing go hand in hand.
Here's some Napa know-how for you. Your local Napa Auto Parts store in Troy is under new ownership with an all-new fully stocked store. Big deal, you say? Big deal, we say. Like the ownership, the store has a new look, too. We're still delivering the same Napa quality and know-how, but we've increased our inventory and are committed to helping you find the parts you need when you need them. So come check us out. We've got the right part at the right price at the right time.
Know-how. Napa know-how.
Did you know at Wiley Sanders Truck Line that we offer Blue Cross Blue Shield, we offer dental, we offer disability, we offer vision, we offer life insurance, cancer insurance. We also have a 401k where we match up to 4%, dollar per dollar up to 4%. We also have automatic trucks at Wiley Sanders Truck Line. If you go to a truck driving school, we'll reimburse you. And don't forget about the $1,000 sign-on bonus. Money! Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We help you save.
Baby, it's cold outside. Baby, it's cold outside. Bum, 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 bum. Back to our show, ladies and gentlemen. And baby, it is cold outside. 38 degrees from downtown Troy right now. And listen to this, 34 degrees at the airport, Mike.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised in like Birmingham if it was definitely below freezing.
Yeah.
I talked to some people up in Birmingham, and they said that Birmingham got 4 to 5 inches of rain. They said it was just unbelievable.
It was bad. I tell you, now we got a lot of rain Saturday night, and you know, Troy was smart to go ahead and play those 2 games. You know, they got their doubleheader in yesterday, and Coastal Carolina was able to get out of here with 2 wins on Saturday. They lost. Troy lost 3-2, and Coastal Carolina had to come back and do that. You know, we talked about Joey Dennison being the hero the first game, knocking in 2 runs to win the game. Well, he was going to be the hero in this game as he knocked in what looked to be the winning run as Troy led 3-1, but Coastal Carolina found a way to come back and won the game 3-2. And then in the second game, our buddy from Banks, Alabama, Mike, Rush Hickson gave up a grand slam home run in the first inning, then pitched brilliantly, Mike. They didn't score another run after that, and Troy pitching did a great job. Troy finally cut it 5-4, but that was as far as they could go. I'll tell you something.
Yeah, Troy, you know, has really had a good season, you know, because they've played so well in midweek games. But you know, their conference record's not very good. They're only 8-7.
Yeah, that's right.
So Troy's going to have to they're going to have to start sweeping some series from here on out to have a chance to hopefully get into postseason play.
No question about it. South Alabama's having a good year too.
They got 15 more conference games left, though.
Oh yeah, it's in front of them. It's in front of them, and hopefully we can put it together. Troy's been getting good pitching, especially great relief pitching. I tell you, the young man came in on Friday and just shut Coastal Carolina down. You know, but
you talking about Carter?
About Carter, the sidearm submarine pitcher. But now, a week ago against Georgia State, he couldn't throw a strike. He was, and I think he'll admit it, he was terrible. But man, he looked like a major leaguer Friday night, buddy. And let me tell you, they had a great reliever too. And hey, I talked to a guy who sits in front of me at the games, and I said, hey, don't worry, nobody's going to score the rest of this game. You know how you get two relievers that are so good, they just stop you on both sides, and that's what happened.
You know, I noticed that Troy's power is really slowed down a lot.
They don't hit a lot of home runs. In fact, going into
but they're not hitting any home runs anymore.
Yeah, that's right. And you know what? They've lacked what we call pop. You know, you remember that old saying, pop? Pop means power. Well, they've lacked that for the last several years, Mike, where they had a guy or anybody that was hitting a lot of home runs.
They really hadn't had a legit home run hitter since that great first baseman, that Trey Santos.
Yeah, that's right.
Power hitters ever.
And you're exactly right. Going into Saturday's game or Friday's games, Coastal Carolina's team had hit 47 home runs. Troy's had hit something like 20 or low 20s, and you got to have pop. You know, you got to be able to score runs in bunches. You know, but let me tell you this: the wind was terrible yesterday or Saturday. It was not blowing out. It wasn't blowing in. It was blowing looked like to me from north to south instead of east to west.
Blowing sideways?
Yeah, blowing sideways. And the ball, you get it up in the air, it blow out down the line. That game,
I went walking down here at the beach yesterday, and it was amazing how bad the wind was. I mean, sand was like blowing in my eyes.
Lockridge, Troy's center fielder, who I think, and you know, I've been around a long time. I've been to a lot of Troy games. He might be the fastest player to ever play at Troy. He can fly. I mean, he is, and he's a great defensive center fielder. And then yesterday,
faster than the kid that married Chancellor Hawkins' daughter.
Well, I think so. Now he might not can steal bases like he could, which he broke all kinds of records stealing bases. But Lockridge can fly, and he's a great defensive player. And he's not a bad hitter.
Though, is he much of a hitter?
Well, he's not a bad hitter. He's batting over 300, but everything he hit, Mike, blew out to the left. He had one ball was well over 400 feet that blew foul, and it happened 2 or 3 times. He was on, but he was trying to pull the ball, and you know, they were able to get him out. But
so Joey Dennison has a realistic chance to break the RBI record.
He really does.
70.
Yeah,
he's at 44 right now.
Who has the record, Mike?
Tom King had 70.
Oh yeah, that great shortstop. You remember him?
Great shortstop when we played Tuscaloosa that night, and we were tied 3-3 and lost a breaking game.
That's right.
That's Troy's best team ever.
That Troy team, Mike, came within a hair going to the World Series.
48 games, I think.
Yeah. North Carolina, I remember, had a great team that year, and Alabama had a great team, and Troy had a great team. Alabama nosed out Troy and ended up playing North Carolina, and Carolina went on. They might have won it that year. I don't know. But
maybe they did.
Exactly. But now tell us about the big trip to Tuscaloosa and Nick Saban's
camp. It was a great trip. You know, I got to go up there, and you know, Wagner Team Sports. We have a big exhibit booth, and we had all our Adidas jerseys and Nike jerseys and all the stuff for upcoming football season. I got to see Peyton Harrison and all his Elba gear. He was up there, and got to talk to Peyton and Will Pouncey from Highland Home, and saw several other coaches.
Did Will tell you that he appreciated my little gift?
Yeah, he did. You know, I saw a bunch of other coaches, you know, that I worked with from Minor and Leeds High School, and a bunch of other coaches that, you know, we've been working with Wagners for a long time. So it was a A lot of fun. I got to hear Neil Brown speak. I tell you, Neil is on the.
Oh, Neil Brown from Troy was on that agenda?
Yeah, he's involved in all these coaching clinics, and pretty amazing to be in Coleman Coliseum and see on the big screen projector on both sides talking about rebuilding the wall and getting to watch Troy football highlights with 1,000 coaches looking on. And
was it impressive, Mike?
Yeah, Neil Brown is really good. If you ever
well, let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, what he's saying is about as good of advertisement for your program as you can get in the state of Alabama, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, I mean it's amazing. Like Doug Peterson, who just won the Super Bowl, is speaking, and the next guy up after Doug Peterson, Super Bowl champion coach for the Eagles, is Neil Brown.
Yeah. And I'll tell you right now, Nick Saban had something to do with that.
Well, it's a credit, Malzahn had Neil Brown in Auburn the other day after Osborne.
Yeah, hey, isn't that something? Isn't that great that they recognize a young coach? They don't have to do that, Heck, he.
No, they don't. That's a really good thing.
Yeah, and quite as Coach Brown does.
Dana Hogerson was there as well, the West Virginia coach.
All right, what did Coach Brown talk about? Did he talk about the spread offense or what?
No, he talked about building this program and rebuilding the wall and how they do things at Troy, and showed highlights of this past season, different plays and how
was it impressive?
Good. Oh yeah, I mean you got 1,000 coaches there.
The facility holds 15,000, but it was set up in a theater type program. Then is that right?
Yeah, exactly. You also had the head coach of the Green Bay Packers was there as well.
Oh man,
he's been there forever.
So you were able to in between trying to sell something, you did pretty well by being at the White Set, didn't you?
Well, we're blessed. We're up high. Basically you just walk out to one of the different aisles, and you can walk through one of the tunnels.
Yeah.
And just kind of.
I hate to do this, but in comparing both clinics, which one did you think was put together best? Just in your opinion.
Alabama, because Auburn's just so much a smaller venue. Everything's in the arena. Like everybody walks over to the indoor practice facility at Alabama. There's just more coaches there, and you have all the full moon you can possibly eat.
Oh, the barbecue.
Yeah, and then the coolest thing is after Neil spoke at 3:30, they opened practice to all the coaches, so we had got to go out there.
And you know what? He very rarely opens practice too. You don't just get to go to his practice as much.
I got to see Tua and Jalen Hurts throw, and the big thing about seeing Tua is, that he aggravated his hand again and his fingers, and they held him out of scrimmage on Saturday.
And if you think about it, if that keeps happening, that's not good.
No, I know. A lot of people keep on talking about that. A lot of people keep on talking about what's the point of playing him in the spring if he keeps on re-aggravating it.
Yeah. Do you think he'll play Saturday at all? Do you think he'll even try to play him?
I think they'll try to play Mac Jones a lot and try to throw the ball to Jalen Hurts a lot as well. Is what I think you'll see happen.
The kid from Elba, and I want everybody to hear this, the Johnson kid from Elba graduated, and now he is on the staff, Mike, with our buddy at Eufaula.
Oh, he's with Rigby?
Yeah, and Coach Rigby, and I watched the Troy scrimmage Saturday, and I watched it sitting right next to one of my all-time favorite coaches, Rodney Jordan.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
boy, and he's
a great offensive line coach, still at Elba though.
Yeah, oh yeah. But Rodney, of course, is going with Coach Rigby to Eufaula, and they've been at it. You'd be surprised of how much respect Charles Henderson has from the Eufaula staff that was left over. He said they really complimented how good a program Charles Henderson's got right now, and they said they were very fortunate to have won that ball game last year. And of course now Coach Rigby.
You got Darrell Jernigan on that staff too.
Yeah, I was wondering if he was going to be staying on that staff, and I hope he does. He acts like it's going to be a good football team, and Rodney's a very humble guy, and he's not a bragger or anything like that, but Eufaula's always going to be good in football. They take it seriously, very seriously.
Yeah.
they have an indoor. They have an indoor facility too, like Charles Henson. Yeah, no question about it.
Greenville's got an indoor facility.
And you will find out pretty much how good they are in a couple of weeks when they play Central of Phoenix City in a jamboree.
Yeah, that's true. You're playing Jamie DeBose. They'll be good.
That's right. Back to the coaching clinic.
Charles Henderson and Troy Cable got some big event coming up, don't they?
They've got 15 teams coming in here, and of course Troy Cable's.
They got Hoover College coming in, don't they?
Hoover College is going to be here, yeah. Which one should I say is a college? Spain Park or Hoover or let's see, what's the other one? Best Stadium or Mountain Brook?
It stops and ends with Hoover. Hoover's won more state championships than any of those teams.
And of course, the coach at Hoover.
I saw Niblett at the event. You would think he's a movie star.
Oh yeah, very much like that.
He's dressed to the T in a bunch of stuff you never even seen.
And he really does look like a movie star. He attracts attention.
You talk about a guy wearing product in his head.
Yeah, and I tell you, but Mike, he runs all the time. He stays in perfect shape. He was raised right here in South Alabama. His dad, John Niblett, led South Montgomery Academy to the state football championships back in the it was in the 70s, I would say. And
you gotta wonder if he's ever going to make the next step up and get into college.
I would. You would think that. It's amazing how much success he's had, and I reckon they think. When you're real good like they are, and Max Howell, I was going to ask him about this the other day. How much does what we call, they'll say it's the system. He said, they'll call it's the system. His system wins all the time, and he's going to win all the time because of the system. The system is so successful. Florida, under Spurrier, won all those games, and it was unreal. I saw a documentary on this not long ago. For 9 or 10 years, Florida dominated college football. Did you know that?
Yeah, they only won one national championship, though.
I know it under Spurrier, they were just really, really good. And that's the way people look at Niblett, I think.
Well, it's one of those things where, what he's done, Probst, of course, built the program, and then of course, we all know what happened to Probst, and then Niblett came from Aniana. A lot of people don't realize Niblett won a state championship in Aniana too. So he's won state championships in a lot of different areas.
And then he was also at a little town right south of Anniston, wasn't he? Or what's that town right off the interstate?
I don't know I know I can't remember where he came from, Aniana, but a lot of the coaches were talking about the instant replay situation, about how that's going to be really tough to deal with and how strange that's going to be. But they're going to have 2 challenge flags throughout the game.
All right, that you can see a replay on. Is that right?
Yeah.
One on both sides or 2 on both sides?
Each coach will have 2.
All right.
So it's going to be kind of more like the NFL.
And you'd probably want to save it till the end of the game, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, I think if they do it that way, also it won't slow the game down as much.
Yeah. Let me tell you something else, a new rule.
I think the high schools have the choice, too. Some schools, like the smaller schools, I don't think you'll see them using it as much, but everybody can use it if they want to, is what they're saying.
Want to mention Rumors is open downtown. Rumors Restaurant, ladies and gentlemen, and it is Rumors on the Square is open on the corner right there where our ice cream place was. Mike, what was the name of the ice cream place?
Say what?
Rumors is located right where the ice cream place was, right there on the corner.
Milky Moo's?
Yeah, right where Milky Moo's used to be, and the food is great. I'm telling you.
There's no more Milky Moo's in Troy?
No more Milky Moo's, but the food at Rumors, there it is right there. Rumors on the Square in downtown Troy, and of course they open up at around 10:30 every day, and they'll stay open until about 8 to 9 o'clock on the weekends. 8 o'clock during the week.
I saw Mr. Sandbuck Insurance in the Red Bar last night.
Did you really, Denny Sanford?
Yeah, he was in there with his wife.
Yeah. I hope you said something to him, did you?
They were a few tables over, and it was so packed. I didn't want to bother them. They were eating their meal. I should have probably said something. But
of course, Mike is.
I tell you what, they've got so many people that come in there to hear that music, and then
it probably hurts. Sometimes it hurts their food business sometimes because everybody's trying to sit down, aren't they?
Well, everybody's standing and listening to the band, so it's amazing how it works down there at the Red Bar. Though I mean, like.
Well, you feel like sort of a celebrity yourself because you and the band there are big buddies, aren't you? You've known those guys a long time, haven't you?
They're big buddies with my wife.
Well, let me tell you something. I was sitting there. Your mom and I were sitting there. This is at the Red Bar.
They definitely wave at us.
And he comes over, all those people in there, and he comes over and says hello. I reckon I paid him enough when you got married to justify it, I reckon.
No, that was a different man. That was Franco and Friends. She paid.
What was the name of it?
Franco and Friends is who we had for our rehearsal.
Well, I thought where did I see Dred Clement at Kenny Campbell's place or what?
Well, you heard him for John's.
Okay, John. That was weird, but those guys are good kids. I mean, good guys. They're not kids.
You've heard them at many different events in Troy and at the beach.
Yeah. Now, one of those guys is not with us anymore. Isn't that right?
Yeah, they're the Red Bar House Band. They play every Sunday at lunch and every Sunday night.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Sundays is a big day at the Red Bar. In fact, a lot of people stay down there an extra day just to hear that band. You're right.
The waves yesterday were just like the most fierce and dangerous looking I've ever seen. I mean, it was like 8 foot, 9 foot waves.
Now, see, you're on flat ground. You're on real flat ground where you are too.
Yeah.
You know, in fact, at Graton Beach, ladies and gentlemen, it's one of the only places on the western shore of the Gulf of Mexico.
You can drive a truck on.
Is that you can drive a truck on. And you've got a pickup truck that y'all keep down there, and all you got to do is just throw your stuff in the back of the truck and drive to the place where you want to hang out at the beach. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, you got to have 4-wheel drive, and more importantly, you got to have a beach permit.
How do you get one of those beach permits, Mike?
Well, we're grandfathered in, but you know, anybody that's in Walton County can do the lottery system, and they issue out, you know, a certain amount of permits per year.
But now they also will put boats in, you know, on that flat ground.
If you ever want to charter fish, if you're staying in Graton, you go right off the water, right off the.
I mean, and what I'm saying is just right there on the beach where you're laying out. Is that right?
Exactly. Yeah. If we parked our truck today and we wanted to go deep sea fishing, we'd basically just walk over and get on the boat and go out to the water.
Yeah. Well, it is unique. I don't know if there's many places
down here.
Is there many other places on the well, you would call it the eastern side of the Gulf of Mexico, wouldn't you?
There's no other place on the Florida Panhandle on there that you can drive out on the beach.
Florida
Panhandle.
There's no other place
that I know of. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, Steve Camp goes on there a lot. You know, there's you know certain areas maybe I haven't been, but I don't know of any other down this way.
Well, I don't either. And now I know Daytona. You know, you can drive out on the beach at Daytona. Yeah, I don't even know if you got to have a permit at Daytona, do you?
I don't know. That might have changed. So you have everybody out there.
But it's flat. The reason it was so dominant, those waves were so dominant, wouldn't you say because it's so flat where you're located?
Yeah, well, you know, you also got the lake water feeding into it as well. You know, they got these coastal lakes in the state park down here, so it's just hopefully it'll calm down. But later in the week, you know, later in the week down here it's supposed to be 79 degrees. So I can't wait.
Well, I tell you what, it is cold this morning, as we mentioned earlier. It's 38 degrees when we started our show today. I want to say 34 or 33 degrees at the airport, and it is cold. And of course, the show's brought to you by the Up Store, Deanne, and all the great folks located on South 39th Street or South Brundage Street, right here in Troy. I also want to mention Mike Dixieland Dental, located 9 miles north of Dothan on Highway 231. Dr. Michael Precise, Dr. John Street, Dr. Damon Street, and Dr. Robert Precise make up one of the largest dental clinics in Alabama. Also, Sarah, and I hear more and more about Sarah, ladies and gentlemen, on the Elba Enterprise Highway, where people are in town either visiting Troy, going to one of the many events that are being held each year in Troy, or you're a student here and don't have a doctor as such, well, let me tell you this, you've always got a doctor at Sarah. There are doctors on duty from 8 o'clock in the morning during the week till 8 o'clock at night. You can see a doctor without an appointment. From Saturday morning at 8 o'clock to Saturday afternoon at 5, you've got a doctor without an appointment at Sarah. And then from 8 to 5, or excuse me, from 1 to 5 on Sundays, you've got a doctor without an appointment at Sarah. And boy,
my wife and I were riding by Sarah, and we rode by the Sportsplex on the way out on Saturday. You know, we're in Troy early.
And she never seen that?
No, I mean, I'm just saying, they must have been 3,000 people out there at the Sportsplex. I've never seen so many people in my life.
Well, it's amazing. I'm going to tell you, you're right. It's huge.
Or is that just recreation softball?
Well, I don't know if it was, I don't know exactly what was going on. It could have been recreation softball, but
every single field was just packed, and there was just cars everywhere.
Yeah. Well, it stays active.
The playground up there, and the playground was packed full of cars, and the rec center.
And people look for a playground.
You know, we never really saw them growing up because Sportsplex was, you know, out there kind of, you know, far away from like Crow Hill where I grew up.
Yeah.
But it's just amazing to see all that in Troy now. When you go
now you've got a new route, you know, that puts you a lot closer to it.
That new route saves a lot of time. It's great.
Yeah, no question about it. They'll take you right to the.
Went to Pinker's gas station, got some boiled peanuts. It was good.
They are good, those boiled peanuts there, aren't they?
Yeah, real good.
And I'll tell you where another good place is to get peanuts is at our glass place between Troy and
what's it called, Adams?
Yeah, and man, hey, listen, they got those parched peanuts that still got the shell on them. You know, not the shell, but what do you call the red part? You know, of the peanut. You know, you probably eat it all. I usually eat.
No, I don't eat it all. You're talking about the
shavings, or whatever you call it.
Peanut cover. Yeah.
You get that at boy, he got that is delicious, and you can buy it anytime.
I'll be honest with you. That's one thing I do love about coming south through Troy is you can get boiled peanuts. I can't find boiled peanuts anywhere in Birmingham.
That's right. That's right. It is something. Of course, we appreciate Sandbuck Insurance.
Yeah, I'm a lot different. Some people like boiled peanuts hot, and some people like them cold, and I like them cold. Yeah. Man, I like them in the refrigerator. I can go grab them out, and they're cold. That's all I like.
Yeah, no question about it. Well,
I like them hot. I don't like them hot.
Yeah. Mike, let me tell you, I got a
I just saw a boat pass by just then. They're heading to the beach to go out on a charter.
Exactly. Now, you sitting out on your porch this morning, or where are you?
Yeah, I'm looking out on the porch, looking out the library.
Of course, you know, your place is right there in the little village right there at Grayton.
Yeah, we're on the main drag. We're on Defeniac Street, so everybody that comes through here, we see.
You got a great location, no question about it, and hopefully it's going to be a pretty week for you.
Yeah, I talked to my twin sister Camille yesterday. She said they had a good time, and they were heading back to Moran yesterday.
Oh, they came back through Troy, and you know,
everybody had a good time and enjoyed Thompson's Donut.
Yeah, exactly right. First National Bank of Troy and Brundage, ladies and gentlemen, with main offices on Main Street in downtown Brundage. One of the strong local banks in Alabama. They also have an office on Park Street right here in Troy. Sisters Restaurant, no better place to eat anywhere. And I'm out at the ballpark a lot. People ask me where to go eat. Well, you know, Sisters is not open on Saturday. How many times have I told people, said, Sisters is not open on Saturday? I'm sorry, but they'll be open on Sunday. You know, somebody needs to open up on Saturday. You know, that's when a lot of people eat out, you know.
Yeah, but, you know, they got to be closed sometime. You know, they got to get.
Oh, yeah, I know it.
I know their day off.
Of course, they'll be open today at 11 o'clock till 2:30. And, of course, you'll order off the menu. Let me tell you what you can get today, Mike. Fresh fried oysters for something like $10, which is a tremendous value. And you can get that today at Sisters. Or fresh fried shrimp. How about that? And then you can order a meal.
Some buddies the other day about, you know, restaurants in Troy growing up. Like, like they you know, a lot of these guys aren't used to going to buffets. They're used to having meat threes, but I try to tell them all the time, for Troy's size, the amount of buffets you have in Troy is just insane. There's probably at least 6 or 7 different restaurants that are buffets.
Well, and now with Preston's being so good, it just adds more and more. You know, Preston's is a wonderful steak.
I'm talking about just a buffet to go eat at.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Chinese buffets, there's Pizza Hut buffets, there's Sisters, there's Julia's, there's even a KFC buffet.
Hey, and then
there's not many KFC buffets in the state of Alabama.
Yeah, that's right. You're exactly right, and it is delicious.
Crazy.
And their chicken pot pie is the best I've ever eaten, and it really is. And of course, also
then you go to Troy University at the beautiful cafeteria. It's a buffet.
Yeah, and you got another buffet you left out. It's located on North Freenight Street, and that is
No, I'm talking about all you can eat. The pig.
well, the pig. That's what I'm talking about. The pig.
Yeah, but it's not all you can eat.
Yeah, it is too. No, well, that's right. That's right. You're right. It's not all you can eat, but it's a lot. No question.
The thing is, like, I mean, that's just amazing though for a town that small to have that many restaurants like that.
Yeah. Listen, my guy up top, Mike. We learned a lot about what malt was, what chocolate malt was last time on the show. Well, let me tell you about what the coating of a peanut is. The papery coating over the peanut is called the testa.
Really? I never knew that. So the flaky thing you roll off the peanut is called a testa?
Yeah, it is a seed coat. In 2009, a study says roasting peanuts in their skins actually increases antioxidants. Yeah, antioxidants. It actually increases that. So if you eat, now see, I sort of peel mine off and just eat the nut. If you eat the whole roasting, or the testa too, it actually increases the antioxidants.
I can't wait to. This off the subject, but we're finally down here for like a week now, and I haven't been to Sunnyside Grill in forever, so I'm gonna finally take.
Well, those guys, man, you're right. I ought to call them and see what's going on.
I can't wait. I can't wait to go down there. It's been forever.
Well, let me tell you what I get.
I can't wait to see little Mary Prater eat one of their pancakes.
Yeah. Let me tell you what I do, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm gonna make some of you hungry today, but I like just good old-fashioned ham and eggs. I get 3 eggs overnight.
Ham.
With their usually with their potatoes, they have homemade potatoes, and then I'll put a big old slab of ham and eggs. You know, how many times if you read something or you talk about breakfast, I can't wait for some ham and eggs. Well, most people around here love the bacon and eggs, and of course the best bacon in the world by far is at Bird Drugs. Mike, you've been around a long time and have been in a lot of places. Is there better bacon anywhere than Bird Drugs?
No, I mean you're really correct on that. I mean I don't know what they do with that bacon or what they put on it.
Well, one thing it is Kelly's. It's Kelly. They buy from Kelly's for one thing. Of course, they have the link sausage.
I know that.
But I am big on their bacon. And let me tell you, at the restaurant we're talking about, Sunnyside Grill, they have a big old thick slice of ham that is just simply wonderful. Now, it's not country ham. They've got country ham if you want it. Of course, country ham is a lot saltier piece of ham. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's right.
And but let me tell you, the country ham or the ham you'll get at Sunnyside Grill is about as good as you're going to get.
If you go in there thinking it's going to be like this real nice place and real fancy.
Oh, it's not fancy.
Hole in the wall.
But you know, all the college kids go in there, and of course, you know, they're the regular customers that go in there all the time.
There's people that, I mean, how long would you say Sunnyside Grill's been there now? 25 years?
Oh, at least that long. You know, now his
because you know
uncle,
the dad started it first.
Yeah, that's right. And he's one that used to, you know, he'd be behind there drinking a cold beer at 6 o'clock in the morning.
that also, the owner, if you see a guy drinking a beer in there at 6 o'clock, 6:30 in the morning, it's the owner, Glenn.
Oh, yeah. Well, let me tell you this, though. The food is outstanding. And, again, if you want some good old ham and eggs, I'll put it up against anybody. You either get a biscuit or you get toast, whatever you wish. But also, what I do, I get my ham and eggs, and people are gonna say I'm crazy. Then I get a short stack, and it's put right between my wife and I. She's eating her thing, and what she likes is an old-fashioned egg sandwich. And not just everybody can make an old-fashioned egg sandwich. You know, you bust the yolk, and you bust that yolk, and you fry that egg. And she loves the, and she also gets the best tomatoes you'll ever eat anywhere on that dish. But I'm just picking at that those pancakes. It's hard to eat all of it, but it is really good.
Yeah, we've advertised for that place many a time in our life. We ought to eat free as much as we
Oh, I know it, no question about it, but it is good. I don't know if which one's the worst as far as my hunger is living very close to Sunnyside Grill now. I live very close to Thomas's Donuts.
You know, I get a big omelet. I get a 3-egg omelet.
Oh, it is good.
Bacon, mushrooms, and cheese and onions, and it's so good. And their hash browns.
Did you know that?
Kind of home fries.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Yeah. If you stayed away from those fries and stayed away from that bread, you could get one of the biggest, finest omelets you can buy anywhere, and it goes almost perfect on the Atkins diet. On the low carb diet. On the low carb diet, a good omelet is about as good a thing as you could order. Wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about it.
And of course, a lot of people do. You remember when the Bowdens came? You know, when the Bowdens came to town. You know, Bobby Bowden used to have his quarterback camp here in Troy, and
yeah, I don't think people appreciated that as much as they should have.
Oh, I know it.
It's hard to believe.
Some of the best athletes.
Terry Bowden and Tommy Bowden had a camp here every summer.
That's right, and they were on my show, and you know they were all just gracious as they can be, and but the young one, Mike, he was on a diet, on the Atkins diet, and he told me he ate omelets 3 times a day. But if you think about it, an omelet is about as perfect a food as you can get. Yeah, if you want to not, if you want to
do an omelet in the morning, an omelet at night. I don't know if I could do it for lunch, but I could do it probably twice a day.
You know, our guy that comes in here, and he'll be coming in here. Mike will be coming in here on Mike Phelps, the former Mr. Alabama, will be coming on our show on Wednesday. And he tells me that the egg is about as perfect a food as you can eat.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then he also really is high on peanut butter. He thinks peanut butter is another real good food that provides not only nutrition, but it doesn't have a lot, you know, it also is something you don't get fat off eating all the time, you know.